The first question to ask is, what is perimeter of a shape? Let's have a random shape. Okay. This shape has a boundary. It goes from here, it just covers itself and it closes back. The length of this boundary, length of the boundary of a closed shape, that's very important, is known as its perimeter. Sometimes we can have interesting objects like rectangles. They have the breadth of B, length of L. The perimeter will be L plus B plus L plus B. That's twice of L plus B. Yeah. All you have to do is to find out length of the boundary. And the next question is, what is the area of a shape? Let's say we have a random shape. This entire zone covered by this closed shape, if that could be told by a number, that number would be area, which means the measure of a region covered by a closed shape is known as the area of that figure. For instance, if I had a square whose each side was 4 centimeter, 4, 4, 4, 4. In this case, the area would be the square of 4, which means that side multiplied to itself, 4 into 4 would have been 16 centimeter square. We'll come back to it later on. Different shapes have different ways of finding out their perimeters and their areas. So let's look at some famous shapes. The first one is a rectangle. It has a breadth B and length L. The perimeter of the rectangle will be twice of the sum of length and breadth. The area would be the product of length into breadth. The square. The perimeter of square would be x plus x plus x plus x, that is 4 times x. And the area would be x multiplied to itself, which is also called x square. We write x into x. Triangle. Let's say the base of the triangle, this base is measured by any length and called b. And let's say that we have also found out the height of the triangle, that is h. So the area would be found by half times the product of base and height, half bh. And for the perimeter, you just add up all the sides. Add sides and you'll get the length of the perimeter, like this side plus this side plus this side. There is no major formula at all for the perimeter of a triangle. Now this figure is called a parallelogram. If this side was let's say m, that side was n, so m is repeated here and n is repeated here. So the perimeter would be twice of the sum of m plus n. But for area, there is a special thing. From the top side, if you draw a perpendicular to the other side, so this particular perpendicular length is also called the height of the parallelogram. Look at which side the height has been created. So it has been created on the side of m, and the height is h. So the area would be m into h, which means the base into the height. And finally the circle. Yes, previous picture was parallelogram. Radius is known by its beautiful shape, and there is a length called the radius of the circle. We denote it by r. The perimeter of circle is also called circumference. Circumference is calculated by the method twice pi times r. So pi is an interesting number which is used whenever we are talking about curvy shapes, and the value of pi is normally taken as 22 by 7. It's an approximate value of pi, not an exact value. So twice pi r is the perimeter of the circle, that's the length of boundary, and pi times r square, which means pi into r, this is the area of the circle. Okay, now let's solve some problems. The first one is, the length of a rectangle is 80 centimeter If its perimeter is 200 centimeter, calculate its breadth and area. Let's draw a rough figure first. It says that the length of a rectangle is 80. Okay, this will also be 80. Calculate its breadth, that's the A part. Let's call it B only. How do we find the perimeter? There was a way of finding perimeters. Twice of length plus breadth. 80 plus B, that is equal to 200. Okay, now you can open the bracket, or you can take the 2 on the other side directly also. Because 2 is multiplying here, it will get divided from 200. So 80 plus B will be equal to 200 by 2, that is 100. And now 80 is getting added, it will get subtracted. B will be 100 minus 80. The breadth will come out 20. See for yourself, is 20. 80 plus 20 is 100, another 80 plus 20 is 100, total perimeter 200. So the first part is solved, A part, that breadth is 20 centimeters. Do not forget the units. Next is calculate its area. So B part, area. How do I find area? We find it by length times breadth. We know the length is 80, we know the breadth is 20. Multiply them, you'll get 1600 centimeter square. That's the area of this rectangle. Next question. The area of a square is 49 centimeter square. Find its side. So let's draw a rough figure again. Each side is same, x, and they're perpendicular also. You know the formation of a square. So its side is x and the area is given to us. We know that x square is equal to the area, that's 49, which means x times x is 49. Think of the number which multiplies to itself, gives you 49. Yes, that's 7. So the value of x is 7. So I can say that the A part, each side is equal to 7 centimeter. Next is find its perimeter. So 7 will add to itself 4 times x, 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 x. So it will become 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. The B part is perimeter. That is 4 times 7, 28 centimeter. I hope it's easy to understand. A side of a triangle is 10 centimeter and the corresponding height is 5 centimeter. Find its area. So we draw a figure first. A side is 10. I'll call this as 10 centimeter, and corresponding height means on this base the height of the triangle is 5. So if you remember, the area was half base times height. So we do half into 10 into 5. Multiply this and you will get 25 centimeters square. That's the area. Next question. An equilateral triangle has each side 30 centimeters. So what is an equilateral triangle? It is a triangle in which all sides are equal to each other. This is equal to this and equal to this. So each side is 13 centimeter. 13, 13, 13. What will be perimeter? Simply add up the 13s. The perimeter will be 13 multiplied to 3, and that is 39 centimeter. Yeah. We were so lucky because it was an equilateral triangle. We can't forget that. Next is the radius of a circle measures 14 centimeter. Okay, so we have a circle whose radius from the center is 14 centimeter. Find its area. The first part is area. How do we find area? We're doing pi into r into r. Radius is 14, so it will be 22 by 7 into 14 into 14. See if you can cancel something. 7 and 14 can be cancelled. 7 ones are 7 twos are. Now multiply the numbers. Whatever your number is, that will be the area. Next is circumference. Circumference will be 2 into pi into r. That will be 2 into 22 by 7 into radius, that is 14. Again 7 and 14 will get cancelled and the answer will be 22 into 2 into 2. Whatever is the number, that will be the circumference. But don't forget that the unit of area will be centimeter square. Unit of circumference will be centimeter only because it's length of the boundary. Next up, we have the circumference of a circle is 88 centimeter. Find its radius. Okay, this is a reverse kind of a question. So circumference, which happens to be 2 pi r, is given as 88. So 2 into 22 by 7 into r is 88. Now look carefully. 7 is getting divided here. It will get multiplied on the other side. So 88 into 7. 2 and 22 both are multiplying here, so they will get divided on the other side. 2 into 22. Yeah, and r is left alone on LHS. Now 22 and 88 can cancel. 22 ones are 22 fours are. And 2 and 4 can be cancelled. 2 ones are 2 twos are. The answer is 14 centimeter. So the radius, the first part, radius of the circle is 14 centimeter. Next is diameter. I hope you remember what is diameter. It is double the length of radius. So 14 times 2 will be 28 centimeter. And if you remember the picture, if a circle is given to you, the line passing through the center is called its diameter. And diameter covers two radius. One is here and one is here. So the diameter actually becomes twice r. The third part is area. Area. Now we know the formula would be pi r square, that's pi r into r. So 22 by 7 into r. What was r? R was 14 centimeter. 14 times 14. 7 twos are. Now multiply these numbers. Whatever is the answer will be your area. Don't forget to write centimeter square. Next question. The area of a semicircle is 154 centimeter square. Look carefully, it's not a circle, it's a semicircle. So what is a semicircle? Let's try to understand. Okay, we have this part. This thing here is called a semicircle. Hope this makes sense to you. Alright, so the area of semicircle is 154 centimeter. This whole area, this whole region is how much? 154 centimeter square. So don't you think if there was a full circle, it would have been the double of 154 by common sense. So full circle area would have been the double of 154. Because we are familiar with circle, so we are trying to take it back to the circular scenario. What is double of 154? It will be 308 centimeter square. Now the first question is find its radius. If I try to talk in terms of circle, we know that it is pi r square. So pi r square has become 308, which is double of the semicircle. So 22 by 7 into r is equal to 308. 7 and 22, let's see what we get here. 308 into 7 upon 22. Okay, let's cancel it by 11. 11 twos are 11 twos are 22, 11 eights are 88. This is 28 into 7. 28 can be written as 7 times 4, and 7 already is there. So r square is equal to 7 into 7, and 4 can be written as 2 into 2. So r square is 7 times 7 and 2 times 2. So the r will be 7 and 2, which is 14 centimeter. Okay. Maybe they will not ask you this question in the exam, but it was only for our to increase our familiarity. Next is perimeter. How will you find perimeter of a semicircle? So just for your knowledge, for the perimeter you will find this whole d, the diameter, and this semi-circumference. So we know that diameter would be diameter plus 2 pi r ka half, which means diameter plus the semi-circumference. Diameter was double of radius, and when you do 2 pi r upon 2, you only have left with pi r. Okay, so r was how much? 14 centimeter. Double of 14 is 28, and pi r is 22 by 7 into 14. 7 twos are. This becomes 28 plus 44. Add them, whatever is your answer. Put a centimeter here. This will be the perimeter of the semicircle. This was the last question. I hope this was useful to you. Thank you.